hard.
Very nice.
That's all we do. We just sit on a sofa for an hour. Just relax.
Yeah.
How are you guys all doing this morning? They're doing woo.
Are you sitting comfortably?
Okay. So I've got this book that I wrote, and the idea was that I was going to read some of it to you guys. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Good.
You can.
Why are your faces all purple? Look at they all have purple faces.
Yeah, that's true. I thought it was a cosplay thing.
It's not just a flux. Diltonians.
Dildonians, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They do feature.
Are they purple?
Are they purple? Well, it depends what color of dildonian.
I think the best dildos are always purple, aren't they?
I guess so.
And they glow in the dark.
I hadn't considered what color scheme the dildonians had gone for.
Yeah.
Do they have a caste system? They grind.
You guys want to hear some of this?
Do you want to start already? Wow.
Well, don't read too much of it.
What are we going to do?
Nobody will buy it if you read the whole
thing. You just
thing.
want to chill?
Well, no.
We'll read some of it.
We can start.
Read your favorite excerpt to start.
Well, no, I was going to read a bit from the start of this one chapter that hasn't gone out yet.
Okay.
They're coming up. The crew of the Disco Volante are coming up with a plan. That's the setup.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Yeah, I know.
I mean, I'm in. That was enough of a build-up for me. Well, so do people have faster than light travel? And they?
If you literally wait.
Right. Fuck me.
Just like reading the stories to my kids. It's unbelievable. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, so this chapter's called 01. They stopped being numbered sequentially a long time ago.
Just got to get comfy here.
All right.
Yeah, should we take our shoes off?
Yeah, get into your bodega listening.
Just go get comfy.
I have to close my eyes when I listen to these.
Yeah, that's because you're going to sleep.
When we used to do this on the podcast, I used to just fully recline and get right into the zone. Okay, go.
Ready?
Yeah, and if he snored, we had to cut it out.
That's some model you got there, Neb, said Bodega, wearing only his space underpants, hands on hips, as he surveyed the vast diorama Nebish had constructed in the cargo bay of the Disco Volante. So much detail, so much accuracy. It looked like the work of Pilflorian ants, rather than the work of a single man.
Okay, Pilflorian ants.
Right, okay. I'm good.
Thanks. It's taken me around 3 months to complete it, said Nebish, but it's finally done. I want a meeting at noon. I'll tell you the plan. Okay, well, that's lunchtime is the only problem, said Bodega, rubbing his stomach. Can you, Bodega interrupted, with a simple raised palm. If you're asking me and Rab to skip or postpone lunch, you're out of your gork-darn mind. Fine, we'll make the meeting 1 p.m.? Cutting it pretty close, said Bodega, scowling. 2? 3? That's fine. See you then. Nebish sighed. He'd agreed to this rescue of Tamira, and somehow, for 3 years, despite working more or less alone on the entire planning stage, he'd maintained his focus. So just to let you guys remind you of who Tamira is.
Can we just butt in at any time?
Of course.
Are there pictures in the book at all?
No.
Man. Not even one?
No.
Damn.
There's one on the front.
You took your shoes off.
Yeah, he's relaxed.
Jeez. Gee whiz.
Gee whiz.
Anyway, sorry.
That's all right. So Nebish has been maintaining his focus. And it says probably because he fancied the pants off of Tamira, even if she almost certainly felt nothing for him in return beyond friendship. And that was fine. She was still notionally a member of their crew, even if only loosely. As a friend of Bodega's, she was considered non-expendable, and friends were never left behind. Never. Don't worry, Tamira, we're coming, Nebish said, as he adjusted the tiny brim on the tiny hat on the tiny Bodega model with a tiny pair of tweezers. As models of alien worlds go, it really was some work of art. Sadly for Nebish, the craft and detail would almost certainly be totally underappreciated by his compadres. So he's built like a big model to explain the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh.
After Bodega and Rab's usual vast and sprawling lunch, the rest of the crew assembled around the cargo bay on plastic folding chairs. Bodega, Rab, Varu. Do you remember who Varu was? Big robot?
Yeah. Yes.
And even Reed, who had taken a sabbatical from work specifically for this job. Nebish stood before them, laser pointer in hand. You right?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm excited. It's
you don't have to be.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I'm gripped.
Okay, you've read this.
I know, and I can't remember this bit. I was mostly doing grammar checking.
It's true. He was mainly checking for grammar and spelling. Guys, this is it. This is without doubt the biggest, most complex job we've ever attempted. There's a chance one or more of us will not survive, although I've done everything I can to minimize that risk. There's also an extremely good chance we'll learn the location of Tamira and be able to rescue her, assuming she's still alive 3 years down the line. There's also, of course, the possibility that we will become wealthy beyond our wildest dreams. Now, said Nebish, we finished off that last part in a rushed near mumble before returning to the diorama. Explain that part again, said Reed, piping up suddenly. The money part, sighed Neb, turning back. He'd hoped that the entire focus of the presentation would not be the money part. Once they got into the money part, they'd start talking about nothing else. Yes, replied Reed, shifting slightly in his seat. Not that my entire interest in this little caper stems from the promise of money, but it is nonetheless intriguing. Well, I'll come to that part in due time, Reed, I assure you. Fine, let me know when you get to that bit, said Reed as he leant back in his chair and appeared in all honesty to be trying to go to sleep, a bit like Sips. Nebish sighed again. Now I've got to do the Rab voice, which is tough, because I'm bad at doing it. Hold on, pal, said Rab quickly. These robots don't need money, eh? So, how are we going to get rich? As I said, I'll come to that bit, and you'll all know when I come to that bit, okay? Aye, go on then. This, he began wearily, using his vidscreen projector to generate a large holographic panorama in midair, is the planet 01. It is a machine world. Spinning before them, they saw the holographic projection of a steel-gray planet that looked more like a ball bearing than a habitable world. It had deep scratches that ran in perfectly straight lines on sections of it, mainly around the equator, but for the most part it was smooth and featureless. No water, no climate visible. It was like God had lost his most boring marble. A long time ago, computers were tasked with running everyday life for most beings in the galaxy. New advances in artificial intelligence, driven forward at speed by the exchange of ideas during the great conglomeration of worlds. Asterisk, footnote. Now this is what you were asking about. And there's loads of footnotes because I just wanted to put a footnote.
love footnotes.
I love footnotes.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so this is, you might get this reference. The great conglomeration of worlds was one of the more surprising and beneficial developments that had come about when humanity finally ventured out into the stars. Upon meeting their first alien race, it turned out that they too had only just developed faster than light travel, and that all the other races they met had similarly advanced only to this exact stage. All their pending scientific advances also seemed to be moving forward at similar rates in fields such as new forms of propulsion, weaponry, social structure, farming or mining techniques, and so on. So I might point out at this point, I was playing a lot of Stellaris.
Yeah.
Each of the races seemed to have almost a roadmap laid out before them, and some felt that this roadmap was almost certainly going to lead them to a massive space war. It was such a baffling and weird state of affairs that the many races got together and formed the Galactic Council and agreed that something really, really strange was going on, so they should definitely not have a massive space war, and that they should just all come together as one and be as chill as possible. The resolution passed unanimously, barring one single planet, Earth. Still, one versus everyone was never going to work, so Earth was bound by the galactic law. Expressing outrage at this situation kept a few Earth politicians in jobs, since they could point to the Galactic Council and remind everyone that, yeah, they were bound by it, but they voted against it, so it wasn't their fault. Wars were still fought, of course. Beings will be beings after all. But there had yet to be that one god-awful space war that results in the death of trillions and the dawn of a terrible new age. Still, there's always a chance of a sequel if this book does okay.
Nice. So, the end of the book, not to spoil it, I guess it's left open so that you can make sequels and expand on the Bodega verse, right?
Yeah, of course. Jeez, I'm not stupid.
Do you want to do, would you ever be interested in doing a crossover with the Wackaverse? Or
the Wackaverse?
Yeah.
Explain.
Well, I have a character called Peter Pennywhacker.
Oh, yeah.
And he would fit in perfectly to some of this.
Describe him to me.
Well, conveniently, Sips has the new book.
Yes, it's right. No, I don't. I made him in FIFA.
I remember the FIFA character.
He had a big golden fro.
Yes,
and
yes.
He looked like he looked like a leather handbag with a golden fro. Think about it anyway.
So he's lived. Is this the same guy? He's lived into the future.
Yeah.
Still playing football.
Yeah. He can time travel easily, so it's fine.
So he's an immortal time-traveling footballer.
Yeah. He's got his own theme park and everything, like
What's the theme park called?
Jeffland.
Duh.
Yeah, geez.
I'm getting old.
I heard there was a thing happened in your bath.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, give us an update on that.
Well, I got to replace the plug. It doesn't work. It's stuck all the time.
Can you got to keep that plug now, though.
Yeah, I know.
It's a piece of, you could sell it probably at the
Yeah.
Yogcon store. Plug that doesn't work.
Maybe next time we have a Yogcon, they have that display case of artifacts. I'll bring it in and we can put my bath plug in there, yeah?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Think about it anyway.
No, I'll think about it.
Yeah,
we'll
okay,
keep
yeah.
that. Keep that.
I'll get in touch with your people and we'll do it. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
good. I'd be up for that. Nice.
How does
Exciting.
How long would it take to read the whole thing cover to cover?
I think the average book is about 8 to 10 hours
Damn.
to read. So 2 minutes 50.
How long can you talk for?
Hey, do you want to hear some more?
Sure?
Okay.
No, we're just going to sit here for the next 25 minutes. Of course.
So
hell.
I'm just trying to find where I was. Oh yeah. New advances in artificial intelligence, driven forward at speed by the exchange of ideas during the great conglomeration of worlds. That was the footnote bit we talked about.
Right.
Yeah.
Meant that sentient beings no longer needed to handle most day-to-day tasks. Anything you could do with your hands or your mind could be done by machine. Leisure became the de facto job of everyone in the galaxy on a developed world. Ain't no way I'm letting some machine fly the Disco Volante, that's for sure, said Bodega, leaning back in his chair and grinning. In the cockpit, the thankfully unintelligent autopilot unit was unable to process this terrible and hugely unfair insult. Nebish continued. After AI got dangerously good at its job, people started getting bored. Without the purpose afforded to them by a job, even a menial and pointless one, people started to drink more, take drugs more, and to fight more, first among themselves, later among the different races. New and powerful anti-machine political groups formed. Religious groups quickly amended their hot takes on their race's particular ancient holy scripture to reflect the change in public opinion. And the Lord spaketh and said, Lo, computers are really bad. You get the idea. In order to head off catastrophe, the GC decreed that artificial intelligence should never again be permitted to get within half the mental capacity of sentient beings. In other words, Varu is only half as smart as me, aye, said Rab, perking up noticeably. Technically, yes, assuming you're at least half as smart as the average for your species, Rab. Aye, that sounds about right, I'd say, said Rab, who leant back in his chair alongside Bodega, but who underestimated how much he'd eaten for lunch and toppled over backwards into a heap. Varu turned to him, the robot's great chrome head expressionless as ever. Had the Galactic Council... You made me do this voice. Had the Galactic Council allowed it, my humor circuit would currently be overloaded, as would my I told you so programming. Sadly, your species is too weak-willed to admit this, said Varu. Since AI was now banned galaxy-wide, this left the GC with a problem. They had sworn to protect almost all life that was intelligent and wasn't delicious. Computer programs aren't edible, but the AI ones were certainly intelligent. Smarter than people, in fact. So it was decided the machines would get their own world. And that's all one? Asked Bodega. No, said Nebish. The machines were to be given a brand new world, colonized for them by Galactic Council member planets, and kept secret as a sort of surprise. Naturally, the machines had learnt of its construction and had a vast simulated eye rolling upon reading the plans and laughing amongst themselves. It was, frankly, all wrong. Luckily, the machines had successfully predicted where the political winds were blowing and had been constructing their own world in secret for several years. So that's O1, said Bodega firmly, yet somehow still uncertainly. Precisely, said Nebish. Bodega grinned and leaned back perilously further in his chair. There is no inherent planetary atmosphere, no water, no clouds, no wind. Down here on the surface is nothing but machinery. Computers stacked up in arrays miles high, each containing millions of artificial intelligence beings living out whatever lives they lead in whatever virtual worlds they've constructed for themselves. All connected via the frankly dizzying network that snakes around the entire planet. A planet that's nothing but computers, said Reed, shaking his head. What about power? We're not sure. Nobody knows exactly what powers this mammoth sea of electronics. And I don't want to really read too much more because it...
Man, you know who you should get to read this? The guy that read the quotes yesterday at the pub.
The actor?
Yeah, yeah.
He would be great.
Fucking good, right? Like, geez, that would be great.
What was that guy's name, the actor?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Him.
That guy.
I'll have my people call his people.
Yeah, yeah. Do it.
Oh my gosh. So is that it? Is that all we're getting?
Yeah, I think so. We got
Okay.
some questions.
There were round of applause.
Yeah, you don't want to spoil it too much.
Oh no, you left me wanting more.
Well, that's the way you sell
That's what
books,
you're
you see,
supposed to
Lewis.
do. You picked a. So do you pick a good chapter that was not necessarily like attached to anything?
Yeah, no, I didn't want to give too much away.
No, it feels like
what
one of those
happened.
sample chapters that you'd see at like the end of.
That's such a kind comment.
Yeah, it's nice.
Feels like a sample chapter. Like a lipsum or whatever it's called.
No.
Lorem ipsum.
like at the end of some books, you get like a sample chapter.
Oh,
from
right.
This book.
To give you a flavour.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you read it and it's like, oh, now, all right. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited for people to get their hands on it and see what they think. Have people got it yet? When's it come? When?
The 7th, I think. Unfortunately, it was meant to be out on the 29th, but
Well, were
was a
people
mission.
able to pre-order the book?
yeah.
Okay, who's done that? Anybody?
Oh,
3 people. Okay.
Like 3 people, yeah. That's pretty good.
That's more than 3.
Yeah.
More
I
people
know,
than
I'm
I
only
could sell a
joking.
book to, so.
I'm only joking. Some of them were putting their hands down during the reading.
No.
Cancel.
Spit away.